In a polite manner, he starts getting rid of his neighbors by reducing the supply of food. Some of them understand that it is time to leave. Some of them get into the rooms and make away with food items. Everyone at the reception is happy except January's servant called Damien. He is confused and charmed by the beauty of May, which leaves his heart suffering. He would have almost died or fainted, seeing May in the arms of January. The boy goes to bed in haste with his heart full of love, pain, and suffering. Damian begins to nurse the feeling to cut and win the heart of May. The narrator believes that such thoughts could be referred to as household witchcraft because the enemy is at home. He wishes that God reveals the enemy and the wicked plan before it is too late. The sunset introduces the night, while January's guests depart with their hearts full of gratitude as they wish him a blissful marriage. The emotional fire continues to burn in January as he takes some potions and drugs. He tells his personal friend to take whatever they want to, and they drink the last toast of drink before they depart. He bears his wife into the matrimonial room where the priest blesses their matrimonial bed. They are left alone and she lays in the arms of her husband, who caresses and kisses her. He reminds her that whatever they do as man and wife is not sinful. Consequently, they would not be in a haste. They would play all night and give themselves to one another. January gets up early with a song as he kisses and cherishes his wife. The narrator indicates that May might not have been very satisfied, probably because of January's age or his performance. He spends the rest of the day resting, while May spends 4 hours a day in her apartment as the tradition demands. In rhetoric, the narrator demands how Damian will make his purpose known to May, and what will happen if her answer will be in the negative. She will likely betray him to her husband. Nevertheless, Damian takes the courage to write and express his love in a song and puts it in his shirt pocket. May shares her first meal with her husband in the hall as noble custom requires. After 4 days, January is surprised not to have seen Damian waiting on him at the table, and he is informed that he had fallen sick. He praises Damian for being a gentleman, wise, secret, and serviceable. He decides that he and his wife will visit and comfort the young man at different moments. While he goes to rest, he sends May to entertain and comfort Damian in his room. She does so immediately, and Damian uses the opportunity to hand over the love letter to her and pleads that she should not betray him, else he will be in trouble. She goes with the letter and meets her husband in bed. After making love to him, January falls asleep and she pretends to go to the toilet, where she reads the letter, tears it into pieces, and flushes it in the toilet. She continues to memorize the content of the letter until she is awoken by her husband, who wants to make love and ensure they have pleasure for one another till evening. She can't get Damian out of her mind, and she wants to put an end to his suffering. She takes a firm decision to love him even more than her husband, although he has no property. Ironically, the narrator refers to her as generous and compares her to other tyrannical women who would have abandoned the young man to die in misery. May feels pity for him, writes a letter granting his wish, but the problem remains the time and place. She will grant him the satisfaction that he requires and whatever that he requires from her. May seize this opportunity to visit Sick Damien and hands him a letter in the most secret manner. She asks him to get well soonest and goes to meet her husband. Immediately, all traces of illness or sorrow disappear from Damien. He dresses up and arranges his hair to draw the attention of me. Damien is very much appreciated by me. January had planned to live all his life in an extravagant pleasure, and the magnitude of anything that he owned could be compared to a king. Among the other things that gave him pleasure was his beautiful stone-walled garden, which is very magnificent. We are told that Pluto and his queen and fairy entourage usually come to spend time in the garden dancing. January finds pleasure walking in the garden. He is the only one who has the key, and it is constantly locked. He takes me there when he wants gratification from her, and they can do all what they could not do on their matrimonial bed. In this way, January has beautiful moments with me, but happiness never lasts forever. Unfortunately, January becomes blind. He is full of sorrow and desires to die. He cries day and night. His jealousy increases, his sadness, because he is afraid that May begin cheating on him. He wants her to be nobody's wife, even in his death. After a month or two, his sorrow subsides, knowing that there is no remedy. He becomes patient, even though there is jealousy within him, making sure that May's hand is in his, wherever he goes, day and night. May has no opportunity to have some liberty with Damien. Consequently, she weeps and prefers to die. Her love for Damien increases, and she wishes to enjoy him. On the other hand, Damien is also heartbroken and full of sorrow because he cannot say a word to me. If he wishes to talk to her, it must be in the presence of her husband. Consequently, they decide to communicate through letters expressing their feelings for one another. Although January is totally blind, the merchant hints that women are known for infidelity, even with men who have their sights intact. May melts wax and prints the impression of the key on it, which permits Damien to produce a counterfeit or copy to the garden. The narrator informs his audience that there will be a miracle. January feels relieved and tells me that he would like them to have a pleasant moment in the garden where they can walk around. Miss signals Damien who rushes and opens the gate of the garden and hides there. In the garden, January prophesies how much he will still love his wife, how much he still loves his wife, whom he doesn't want to hurt. He only wishes that she should stay faithful to him. He wants her to do this in order to have her own advantages, which includes the love of Christ, her personal honor, and the inheritance that he is willing to give to her. He begs her not to be angry with his jealousy because he loves her so deeply. He urges her to kiss him and have a stroll with him round the garden. Touched by the emotional words of January, May begins to cry. She tells him that she would be true to him and her love will never die of faith.